Jeffrey Brown has more on the growing number of orphans in West Africa and how aid agencies are dealing with that crisis.
And I'm joined by Sarah Crowe, Chief of Crisis Communications for UNICEF. She returned recently from a 6-week trip to Liberia. Can you give us an overview first? How big and widespread a problem is this now?
Well, it is an extraordinary problem. We're seeing every few weeks, of course, the number of Ebola cases are doubling, which means that the numbers of orphans are going to increase as well, because those who are falling ill and dying from Ebola are people of childbearing age. We estimate at the moment there are 4,000 plus orphans, and this is probably only the tip of the iceberg in the 3 affected countries. So it's really testing us, throwing new challenges at us that we've never had to face before.
I assume the biggest problem is just fear itself, right? Fear of the disease and then fear of the children because they're coming from where the disease has been. How difficult is it to place them with their own families, large extended families, or in other kinds of facilities?
Well, every few days, our country offices in all 3 countries are getting stories and information about children who are simply abandoned. A case just recently this week of a child-headed household, a 15-year-old taking care of her brother and sister because they were left out under a tree to fend for themselves because family had shunned them. So in those cases, what we have to do is find emergency foster care. The good news is some 600 children in the past few weeks in Liberia alone have been placed with foster care, and survivors or those who have been through this terrible ordeal of having the disease and being able to then care and nurture children are the best form. They're able to give children the kind of care that nobody else could give because they know what it's like. So it is really, we're sprinting uphill all the time because this is an absolutely monumental battle. But there are protocols now in place which are being followed by many of our partners. And of course, we're working very closely with government and all our partners. But it's not quite enough yet.
Let me just ask you briefly, finally, we're talking about the immediate concerns. What about if you're able to think about the longer-term effect here of lack of education for these children, health concerns going out, psychological long-term effects? What are the worries there?
Well, Ebola has eroded every single aspect of life. It has impacted on children's health. They're not getting the routine immunization they need. Pregnant women are not getting the support they need. Children are not going to school. The problem and the needs are outpacing everyone's ability to be able to respond fast enough. But we're sprinting against time.
Sarah Crowe of UNICEF, thank you so much.
Thank you.